I don't know if you know of Justin Timberlake and Usher were actually fighting over who could sign him.
Hey, listen, he has a mind of his own. What he chose to do with his penis is his prerogative.
Puff and Usher did have a situation, and that situation led Usher to the hospital.
Started getting sexually abused from the time I was 5.
Freeze. You're in shock. I mean, children aren't supposed to handle that sort of stuff.
People don't know how serious it got. Like, it was legit crazy scary.
I can tell you that the #1 problem in Hollywood was and is and always will be pedophilia.
That Justin Bieber got by Diddy.
It's not our fault that Usher didn't want to get fucked by Diddy anymore.
Which parent would say, you know what? We don't know you. We know that you're a celebrity. Go and hang out with this guy for weeks on end by yourself.
You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy camp?
Hell no.
Imagine a teenage Justin Bieber thrown into the world of glitz and glamour, unwittingly tethered to the infamous Sean Diddy Combs. But what if, behind that mentorship, there was a darker side that no one saw coming?
It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you in a second. So, yeah, it's hard because I want her to know that, she can count on me. But at the end of the day, I'm never gonna force myself to be in a relationship with her. It has to be natural, right? So I just kind of, let her do her thing. And if she ever needs me, I'm gonna be here for her. But yeah, just protecting those moments because people take for granted encounters and
For years, rumors have swirled around the entertainment industry's most iconic figures, with whispers of parties, secrets, and dangerous influences. But in recent revelations, one question keeps resurfacing. Did Patty Millette, Justin Bieber's mother, unknowingly place her son in harm's way?
Why are you calling? Is that me? Get back in your cage. Justin. Hey, I'm in charge of your grades, kiddo. Justin, this isn't even funny. So far, I'm getting straight A's, so I'm doing good. Justin. What?
I'm going to tell you.
You're joking. I'm Did you have to apologize? No. My mom means the world to me. She definitely keeps me level-headed, but she's got to understand. I'm 15, I joke around. She knows I was joking. Obviously. Some things that are not funny.
Gene Deal, a former bodyguard of Diddy, has stirred up a storm, shedding light on unsettling truths about Bieber's early encounters with Diddy, hinting that Patty may have sold her son to a system she barely understood. But how did things get to this point? Why would a loving mother allow her teenage son to party unsupervised with industry giants known for their wild reputations? And what could Diddy have done that left Justin and his close ones appalled?
Minors, and a lot of people have been trying to drag Justin Bieber into this situation because there's a lot of suspect looking videos with Diddy and Bieber in it, and they're making a lot of allegations.
Mm-hmm. Same way they made allegations about Usher when Usher was younger.
I mean, do you think that there's any credibility to these allegations?
When there's smoke, there's fire. Why would Diddy be tapping his kid in his chest to see if he wired? And asking him, are you wired? Why would he be confronting that kid? Why would Justin Bieber make a song about, what is it? I got smashed at a Diddy party or something like that? Why?
In the early 2000s, Patty Millette was a young mother facing immense pressure. After enduring years of abuse, substance use, and hardship, she was just beginning to see a glimmer of hope through her son's raw talent.
Well, starting from a young age, my parents split, as a lot of parents do, and my dad abandoned us, moved, 10 hours away, and then started getting sexually abused from the time I was 5 up until I was about 10 years old, and there was multiple abusers, and then, had really unhealthy relationships, and ended up getting into drugs and alcohol into teen years, and had an attempted suicide at 17.
It's hard to believe that somebody, just as beautiful as you've got Justin Bieber as your son, that you would even think about something as awful as suicide, that you've been through so much, though.
Yeah.
But you're really helping a lot of people, I would imagine.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, that's why I wrote this book, is just to help others get through similar things that I've been through.
For the people who are watching, and the moms especially, who are saying, I've been through what you've been through, I identify with that, what advice would you give to them?
I would just say, talk to somebody and don't give up. There's hope. You don't have to stay in that dark place.
Justin's early videos on YouTube were getting noticed, and soon enough, he was on the brink of stardom, discovered by Scooter Braun, and quickly signed to Island Records under the guidance of Usher. But with fame came forces far beyond her control. Forces embodied by people like Diddy.
So my mom was really she's a single mom, so she was really skeptical of the music business. She had no clue. We didn't have a lawyer. We didn't want to sign to anything. So.
Right, of course. So you said no to Maury Povich.
We said no to Maury. No disrespect or anything.
No, I hear you.
After that, management started contacting us, different managers and stuff. And my mom again was like, sorry, Justin, we don't have a lawyer. So we finally got in contact. This guy contacted us named Scooter, who's my manager now, and basically stalked us a little bit, kind of got in contact with us, and finally my mom was calling him back to say, listen, stop calling me. And he was like, I really see a lot in your son. I can help you guys. And my mom was really skeptical at first. They ended up talking for a couple hours, and he knew some lawyers that we could talk to and stuff. So we ended up flying to Atlanta free of charge, just for him to check us out and get to know us. And
this is Scooter.
Yes, yeah. This is Scooter, and we ended up signing a deal with Usher a couple months later.
Not long after signing his record deal, Justin, barely 15, found himself spending an unchaperoned weekend at Diddy's home. Gene Deal recalls how crazy things got, suggesting a level of freedom that raised serious concerns about Bieber's safety.
Bigger than Diddy, and he's not none of the names that I said? Probably so. But then they say he was young too?
Yeah, they say he was young.
Let me get his name right. I hope it ain't the Bieber. I hope it's not the Bieber.
That's a good one. It might be you. But if they saying that the guy is young and he's an A-lister, I can't think of that many black people, man.
Right. Not at all. And somebody that's more powerful, more of a celebrity than Diddy. You understand what I'm saying? If they were saying somebody that was more celebrity than Diddy, he was an A-lister, he was younger, you know what I'm saying? And if he's not black, it would have to be the Bieber. That's his name, Bieber? They said I got that wrong too. Justin Bieber, allegedly. I don't know, bro.
In a video from that time, Diddy joked on camera, "He's having 48 hours with Diddy. What we're doing, we can't really disclose." For any teenage fan, it may sound like a dream come true. But for a mother looking back on those memories today, it might feel more like a nightmare.
Where are we off to now?
Where would you like to go?
Wherever you want to go. Where are we going?
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. I have been given custody of him. He signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
Going crazy.
Crazy.
I'm taking this out tonight.
What you wanna do? What you wanna do over the next 48 hours?
48 hours. Let's go. Let's just go get some girls. Let's go get some girls.
A man after my heart. That's what I'm talking about, kid.
Justin was, in many ways, thrown to the wolves. Diddy's notorious parties were legendary, and sometimes notoriously wild. As a teenager, Bieber was already thrust into an industry famed for its relentless partying and the unspoken dangers that came with it. Many close to Justin now argue that he should never have been exposed to such situations, a sentiment echoed by Gene Deal, who witnessed the entertainment industry's darkest corners during his time with Diddy.
Say, because I can't say that. When I used to see him swing, it was always with him, another dude, and 2 girls. You know what I'm saying? When he was swinging with other people, you know what I'm saying? He always had other girls in the room or another guy in the room, even with his girl Kim, and he was swinging with her. So that freak off things, but him videotaping and everything like that, no, I can't say that I was privy to that. But you knew what was going on, you know, and just in the instant when people got it confused when I said, when he was in the room with Sarah and her girlfriend, and he had Ja Rule and him in the room. Yo, I didn't know they was doing anything freaky until Ja came out and said, yo, y'all didn't want to be in there because there's a lot of freaky things going on.
Adding more fuel to the fire, Justin, now a father himself, has reportedly distanced himself from Diddy amid the latest controversies. The allegations against Diddy are severe, with more than 120 people accusing him of offenses ranging from racketeering to sex trafficking.
The allegations against Sean Diddy Combs. An attorney says he represents 120 accusers who've come forward with sexual misconduct allegations. He expects to file civil lawsuits against the rap mogul. Senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katursky is tracking the latest. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning to you, George. If these lawsuits actually come to pass, Combs would be facing sexual misconduct allegations on an unprecedented scale.
This morning, new disturbing accusations against hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs from a Texas attorney who says he represents 120 alleged victims, men and women, whose allegations span more than 30 years.
The biggest secret in the entertainment industry that really wasn't a secret at all has finally been revealed to the world.
The accounts of the alleged victims, some of whom were children, have not been fully vetted, but their accusations involve the kind of drug-fueled recorded sexual assaults described in a dozen previous civil lawsuits and the criminal case against Combs.
What shocked me most was that it was going on openly in front of other people that you would know, who didn't do anything to stop it, who turned a blind eye towards it.
Gene Deal's revelations suggest that the music mogul circle was much darker than Patty could have imagined, leaving fans to wonder, was Justin's path to stardom paved with invisible threats and manipulations?
The other day, I seen on the video that Puff had ran into Justin Bieber. They met up, and he started tapping him as if he was searching him and see if he had some kind of device on. Did you see that?
Yep.
Check this out. What if the federal government have already talked to Justin Bieber? And Diddy did that on tape. That means in his mind, he think this person may be a witness, right?
Yep.
What he has just done that is against the law?
Nothing that we've seen.
Tampering with a federal witness. If they have already talked to Justin Bieber prior to him doing that, he goes and look like he's searching him. It appears that he's asking Justin Bieber, yo, you got a wire on something like that? Like, You're tampering with a federal witness.
As these claims emerge, so too does a pattern of older music moguls taking young artists under their wings, exposing them to a lifestyle that could make or break them. Usher, too, was reportedly under Diddy's mentorship at a young age, a relationship that began with excitement and promise, but now feels tainted in the wake of these revelations. Bieber, like Usher before him, became close with Diddy, and his rise to fame was influenced by an industry network that saw young, marketable talent as assets to be molded or exploited.
No, because I think if a victim comes out against Usher, it'll show how egregious it is. Because if he can be a predator, then anybody can be a predator.
Can't smile in your face the whole time.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, people look at Usher, they don't see that. They're not seeing the victim. They're not seeing that boy that got rushed to the hospital. They're not seeing what the intentions was in his heart when he took Justin Bieber there.
Oh.
Let's be honest. He took Justin Bieber there. Diddy had been trying to get to Bieber for a minute. And his management was backing him off. But it wasn't until Usher took over management and had guardianship and gave temporary guardianship to the diddler for 48 hours. Think about that. He had already been to the hospital. That situation that Gene was talking about. And you still took Bieber there, but you got custody of him first. Yeah. Diddy had already tried. They wouldn't let him.
Behind the scenes, Patty must have been watching Justin's career take off with a mix of pride and fear. She trusted industry veterans, hoping they would guide him safely, never suspecting that her choice to allow him near Diddy would be so heavily scrutinized years later. Her past, marked by abuse, addiction, and redemption, left her vulnerable, and it's possible that she couldn't foresee the potential dangers.
Patty, as we said earlier, your journey with God has taken many different turns and twists, and God has blessed your life with a precious son named Justin.
Yes.
And I think we're going to pull Justin. Justin didn't know this, but Justin, you were in the studio. Come on over here. He's a good-looking 14-year-old young man. Have a seat right next to your mom.
And he sounds even better than he looks.
He does.
Can you Google this guy?
You can Google Justin. Patty, tell us a bit about what's happening now in Justin's life. This is hot off the presses.
Yeah, actually, Justin is not just healthy like I prayed, but like I said, he's really talented. He's been putting up videos on YouTube, and he is now the #1 most subscribed to musician in Canada on YouTube.
On YouTube.
And number 20th in the world. Musician in Canada.
And we heard him sing.
We met him here.
Yeah,
he sang for us in the green room earlier.
What a voice. You would never believe could come out of And
a
voice
you.
that's caught
It's
the
beautiful.
attention of some pretty high up people.
Yeah, he was being courted by the different music labels, and I don't know if you know of Justin Timberlake and Usher were actually fighting over who could sign him, and so we just signed with the music label, and we're moving in about a week to the US. So it's a big step, and he's got a long journey and great plans.
She saw an opportunity to lift her son out of poverty, a chance for them to finally break free from hardship.
When you have a son who is a superstar, you've got to think about security and safety. I mean, you've got so many people who want to, see him, be him, marry him, but you also got the crazies out there. Do you worry about his safety?
Of course. I mean, I think every mom worries about their kids. So, but he's got really good security guards and a great team around him that, try to keep him out of dangerous situations. Yeah, of course I worry. I'm a mama.
Yeah. But what do you have to do that's different than, say, the typical mom at home?
Well, I mean, now that he's 18, it's time for me to let go a little. But when he was younger, I couldn't ground him you're not going to your concert tonight. I mean, I just get creative, take away phones and computers and all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
And how does he respond to that? Does he like, Mom, I'm Justin Bieber. You can't do that.
No, he would come home after a tour and I would say, honey, the garbage needs taken out. Mom, go take out the garbage.
He sounds like
And he would.
He sounds like a real respectable, just young boy. What's he been like as a child for you?
Oh, he's such a different kid than I was. I was really wild and crazy, and he's a good kid, and he makes a lot of good decisions.
However, fame has a cost. Gene Deal's recent comments place Patty's choices under a microscope. He implies that by letting Justin get close to Diddy, she may have unwittingly exposed him to an industry filled with pitfalls. But the question remains, how much did Patty really know? Was she simply naive, or did she consciously ignore the signs to protect Justin's shot at success?
Puff and Usher did have a situation. And that situation led Usher to the hospital. Now, I let Usher explain that to y'all. I let Usher tell that story. But how dare you say a man that groomed you, you gonna give him a pass? Bruh, you know I know. Let me reframe you on something. Remember, Usher? We was at the Swiss Hotel. Puff had Kim in the room. Had one of Keith Sweat's baby mothers in the big room outside the master bedroom. He came outside in his robe. She gave him a fellatio right there. His back was turned to me. She gave him a fellatio. You knocked on the door. I came and opened the door for you. Puff went in the room. You came in the room and kissed that girl dead in her mouth.
In a world of secrets and rumors, Gene Deal's latest reveal has set the celebrity world on fire. The bombshell claim that Justin Bieber's mother, Patty Millette, might have sold him to Diddy. This isn't a straightforward deal, though. It's a claim that implies a complex web of manipulation, power dynamics, and neglect within the entertainment industry.
I mean, there's protections for animals, in filming. I think there need to be protections legally put in place to protect people when they're filming, human beings.
Jennifer Lawrence now hopes that legislation will be enacted in the wake of the Harvey Weinstein scandal. Weinstein's decades-long chain of alleged harassment was a dirty Hollywood secret. As far as we know, though, all of Weinstein's accusers were of legal age when the alleged incidents occurred.
But there is Hollywood's other dirty secret that victimizes the most vulnerable, children. And someone who's spoken out about this and is painfully aware is former child star Corey Feldman.
You freeze. You're in shock. I mean, children aren't supposed to handle that sort of stuff. I can tell you that the #1 problem in Hollywood was and is and always will be pedophilia.
Nobody talks about pedophilia.
It's the big secret.
And it's widespread?
Oh, yeah. I was surrounded by them.
For years now, as evidenced on Nightline in 2011, Corey Feldman has been claiming that he and his good friend, the late Corey Haim, were victims of molestation when they were young actors. Last year, he opened up to our Alex Hudgens.
Why did kids are scared. Kids don't think I'm gonna go. First of all, for me, the person that was doing it to me the most, I could say that the two people that did it to me were both close friends of mine, or so I thought.
Let's rewind to the mid-2000s, when a 15-year-old Justin Bieber first became entangled in Diddy's orbit. This connection wasn't random. It was Usher, another of Diddy's protégés, who played a significant role in introducing the teen pop star to the mogul.
First time you met Justin Bieber, this kid comes up to you. He's not Justin Bieber yet, he's just some kid. And he says, I want to sing for you.
It was at the studio of Jermaine Dupri's. I said, why don't you set up a meeting between me and your manager? I'd love to meet with you and do this in a formal setting. I'm late for an appointment with Jermaine Dupri,
right?
And I don't want to keep him waiting. Let's just do this the right way.
And then you have him come to audition for you, right?
Actually, there were a few people. My wife at the time.
Right.
It also was Perry Reed, L.A. Reid's first wife.
You were all sitting in a room somewhere.
We were in a room.
Yeah.
And I showed her the video. And Perry says, are you crazy? You better get down there and meet this kid right now. He's amazing.
When all these dick pics come out and all this stuff with Bieber's big penis, Are you the mastermind behind that? Say, listen, show off your big penis and people will come to those concerts. Or are you sitting there?
Is that the kind of managing he's doing?
Usher, are you sitting down with him and saying, yeah, show your cock or leave it in your pants? I mean, do you sit him down and say, look, part of this is PR,
Hey,
man.
by the way, he does have a brain of his own.
Yeah, but were you shocked at the size of his penis?
Hey, listen, he has a mind of his own. What he chose to do with his penis is his prerogative. He's managing that aspect of his life.
But Usher, is somebody...
I have nothing to do with Justin Bieber's private parts, man. Come on.
Usher, who himself had spent part of his youth under Diddy's mentorship at the so-called Flavor Camp, didn't paint a pretty picture of that experience. He once confessed that being around Diddy exposed him to things far beyond his years, things that still haunted him. While Usher didn't spell out every detail, his words left little to the imagination. Parties with explicit content, unsettling power dynamics, and an atmosphere where anything could happen.
I moved to New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp?
Yeah,
Flavor
that's what it
Camp.
was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I
Come
mean,
on.
but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't necessarily understand it.
Uh-huh.
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there. Lil' Kim, Craig Mack.
All these people are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans.
And your parents
Jodeci,
were
Mary J.
okay?
Blige. They didn't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
I was having a good time. You know what I mean?
Does he have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 a.m. with them and party?
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than them.
And do you have money? What's going on?
I mean, I had like per diem.
Yeah.
I had like,
What
like
a
living.
life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
See?
And yet, despite the warning signs, Bieber's parents, especially his mother Patty, seemed unbothered by the growing friendship between her teenage son and the much older Diddy. In hindsight, many are now asking why she allowed Justin to be so deeply involved with Diddy's lifestyle.
Yeah, that's the thing. Right? I have kids. I don't even post, and then the Twitter trolls will be, "We're her kids." Well, I'm protecting them, and this is sad. I mean, this is sad. And this one with Bieber.
This is the Bieber
thing.
one. Yeah.
Where are the parents?
Yeah, and which parent would say, you know what? We don't know you. We know that you're a celebrity. Go and hang out with this guy for weeks on end by yourself. And at what time, at what era is this cool?
In the most critical years, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. How is this, Alina? They both turn. How is this normal?
So
they both
good.
turn into superstars. Yeah, that's the sacrifice you make. Yeah, that's the sacrifice. And one of them had to go to church and he freaking lost his mind.
One witness to this world was Precious Muir, a former Playboy model who attended one of Diddy's infamous parties. Recently, she went public with her experiences, and her insights are chilling. Muir shared that it wasn't uncommon to see underage attendees at these events, a fact that makes her wonder why on earth parents like Patty Millette thought it was safe to leave their children with Diddy.
During this era, Muir says she met Diddy and Cassie, who were dating. She says Diddy was obviously the leader of the pack, who took advantage of young girls who had showbiz dreams. It didn't matter if the girls were underage either. Muir says it was not a place for children as there was nudity and sex, but that didn't stop Diddy from recruiting young women, allegedly. Muir says, quote, "I saw people hooking up sexually. When I went to the bathroom, I saw condom wrappers and fragments of cocaine on the side with whatever thing they used to sniff it." She went on to say that as the leader, Diddy was never told no. She said, quote, "You can sense that he has a lot of confidence and that he likes to be in control and tell his inner circle what to do, and I don't think anyone ever really says no to him." Security guards were apparently also present at these parties, who were on the watch for anyone who pulled out their phones to take pics or videos. These personal recordings were not allowed, but Diddy himself was allowed to record, and according to Muir, there were cameras scattered around the rooms recording everything.
Meanwhile, Bieber's troubled father, Jeremy Bieber, also raised eyebrows. A man with a colorful past himself, Jeremy recently came under fire for managing his young daughter, Bey's Instagram account in ways that critics found disturbing. Photos of Bey, a young child, were posted in outfits that, while innocuous to some, attracted an unsettling amount of attention from adult men. This situation only added fuel to the idea that Bieber's parents might not have always had his best interests at heart, leaving him vulnerable to the influences surrounding him.
Hey, tell me, what does it mean to be an ambassador? What's your job? What do you do? Do you tell people about it?
Yeah. And
but not at this moment in time. But what you wanted to get behind this because you're always on the internet, right? So you know what it's like to be on. What are you doing when you're on the internet? Are you watching videos of your brother Justin?
yes, I listen to music and stuff.
Mm-hmm. So do you think it's important that you have something like kids' Wi-Fi to be able to protect you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Jeremy, you have it at home, right?
We do, yeah, and we love it.
And was it just that simple as we were hearing it? It's like under 2 minutes, you said, to get the whole thing up and running. And
yeah, you essentially just plug it in and away you go.
Yeah, very good.
Multiple sources have hinted that Justin went through a period of intense anxiety and emotional struggles during the height of his career, particularly when Diddy's influence over him was strongest. According to insider reports, Diddy's mentorship allegedly included exposing Bieber to an adult world before he was ready. Former associates of Bieber, who chose to remain anonymous, claim that he would occasionally express feeling trapped in the industry and overwhelmed by the high-stakes environment.
Now to our GMA cover story, pop superstar Justin Bieber revealing he is now sleeping in an oxygen chamber as he faces what he calls deep-rooted issues. So can it help? Dr. Jen is back in a moment, but first, here's Diane Macedo.
It's like they want me to be perfect. This morning, another clue to pop star Justin Bieber's state of mind. In his latest Instagram post, the singer admits he was unhappy during his last tour and is now, quote, very focused on repairing some of the deep-rooted issues that I have so that I don't fall apart. This on the heels of another Instagram post where he describes feeling super disconnected and weird. Bieber's also sharing images on Instagram of himself inside a hyperbaric oxygen chamber. Fans are now wondering if he's using the chamber to improve his mental health.
There's a good feeling, an uplifting of the mood because it also increases serotonin and you feel energized. Pain is decreased. You feel good afterwards.
Hyperbaric chambers typically treat conditions ranging from carbon monoxide poisoning to vision loss, but no studies have shown that it can improve mental health. Bieber hasn't said exactly why he's using the chamber. Experts warn the device may not be for everyone.
It can be used for depression and anxiety, but that's a less common use of it.
Ultimately, Bieber says whatever's going on, he wants to get better, writing, "Music is very important to me, but nothing comes before my family and my health."
These sources note that, in private moments, Bieber seemed burdened by the weight of expectations from those around him, particularly the adults who had ushered him into this world. They also suggest that Diddy's larger-than-life personality made it challenging for Bieber to assert his own boundaries. Friends from his early career recall how Bieber, though young, seemed jaded and hyper-aware of the complexities around him, often staying silent or withdrawn in situations where he felt out of place. Fans have recently begun analyzing some of Bieber's lyrics from his past albums, searching for any hidden messages about his early years in the industry. Tracks like Where Are You Now and Lonely have been cited as subtle cries for help, with lyrics that describe isolation, manipulation, and the weight of fame. These songs are now being re-examined in light of the recent allegations and are thought to reveal how Bieber may have struggled to process and articulate the effects of his early experiences.
We're moving on to Justin Bieber, speaking of artists. He posted these kind of bizarre pictures over the weekend. Pictures that look like he's crying.
Yeah. Why is the question?
Yeah.
What's going on?
And the question is that performative? Are those real tears? We had in our morning meeting today, there were some people who thought maybe this is somebody that's not really crying, but they put eye drops on something. But others thought, no, this is real. I don't know, but it certainly projects an image of somebody who's almost tormented.
Well, it's interesting because he uploaded a gallery of photos, and in that gallery there were like performance photos, there was a photo of marijuana, and then the next slide was 2 photos of him looking emotional with like tears coming down his face. So obviously everybody in the comments was like, are you okay? What's going on? Like a lot of concern. And his wife Haley actually commented on his post saying a pretty crier with the emoji where it's smiling but like a tear is coming down its face.
What do you think that means?
I think it's showing that it's not serious, but I do think it's also acknowledging that it was tears. It wasn't that it was just like eye drops from, because the reason why people think it might be eye drops is because the photo right before was of marijuana. So people thought, oh, he's putting in eye drops because he was just smoking. But with Haley saying you're such a cute crier, now that kind of confirms he was in fact crying. He was emotional over something, but he never addressed in his caption what exactly was going on, and who knows if he actually will, but a lot of people are concerned.
According to a former tour manager, Bieber's decision to distance himself from Diddy in recent years was more than just a shift in career direction. It was a calculated move to break away from the influences he felt had negatively impacted his personal growth.
When you're able to take responsibility, I know I did that, and I know that did hurt people because I did that, but I can look at that and not have shame over it.
Justin and I were never really in each other's lives until he chose to get sober and was trying to come off of the drugs, almost kind of himself.
I decided to stop because I felt like I was dying. My security and stuff were coming into the room at night to check my pulse. Like, people don't know how serious it got. Like, it was legit crazy scary. I was waking up in the morning and the first thing I was doing is popping pills and smoking a blunt and starting my day. You know, so it just got scary. I basically said to myself, oh my God, if you're real, you get me through this season of stopping these pills and stuff, and if you do, I'll do the rest of the work. And then I did that, and then I was good from there, but I never did the actual work. I got off the pills, but I never went to the root of everything. So then I just like kind of circled back around, which most people do.
So I first met Justin in September 2014. He was a wreck. He had recently stopped using drugs. He was anxious, overwhelmed, not sleeping.
The true extent of Diddy's influence on Bieber's early life may never be fully revealed, but these new insights paint a more complex picture of the silent struggles, the layers of control, and the price of fame that Bieber faced. If Patty Millette truly sold her son's freedom and innocence for a shot at fame, it raises profound questions about the industry, parenthood, and the trust we place in those who hold power over our dreams. Will Bieber or anyone else impacted by Diddy's influence ever find peace? Or are they forever chained to a legacy of fame mixed with fear?